All right, now, so after we went ahead and we created the model, and created the table for our admins, now it's time to actually go ahead and start with the authentication system, set up the form, do the logic for the form, and yeah, do a bunch of other things. So yeah, let's close both of those off right here. And let's try to go ahead and do the routes first. So I'm just going to go to web.php right here. I'm going to go down at the bottom. And let me just copy this route and go right here and paste this in. So the first thing that we need to do is actually go ahead and just view a simple form so we can log in. So I'm going to go right here and I'm going to set up some kind of prefix first, which is admin. And I'm going to go right here and name this log in like that. And right here for the controller, I'm going to go ahead and create an admin's controller so we can handle all the admin's things. All right, functions and all of that. So I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to name it admins, and I'm going to create the admins controller. And right after this, I want this to hit a view login function. All right, and the name for this will be view dot log n, like that. And we're not going to have any middlewares for now. All right, so this is everything. So just save this whole thing. Let's now go ahead and create this controller first. So just pull up your command line, and I'm gonna go php artisan make controller, and I'm gonna go admins / and simply paste in my admins controller and press enter. All right, so now it should generate this. So if we go to app, if we go to HTTP, we go to controllers, we will find the admins folder right there, and there is the admins controller. I'm gonna go ahead right now, and I'm gonna go public function, and I'm gonna paste the function name in, copy this, and paste. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead, and this will only just return a simple view, and this view will be in the admins folder, and I'm gonna name it log and like that. All right, so this is actually everything. So just save this whole thing in. Let's now go ahead and create this view. So if I go to resources, if I go to views, let's create the folder first, and then let's go ahead right inside this and create this blade. All right, so I'm just gonna go blade.php like that. All right, so there we go. But before we go ahead and create create this view, we need to set up some kind of master template for the admins, or for the admin panel. If you look at the layouts right there, you can see app.blade.php, which simply the master template, but this is for the users end, right? Not for the admins. And of course, we're not going to use this because the header and the footer for the login for the admin panel is very different from the it's very different from the user's end. All right, so yeah, because the designs of both are different. All right, so we have to set up another one right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and name this admin.blade.php. all right, I'm just gonna call this admin like that, not admins. All right, so there it is, our master template for the admins. So we need some kind of header and some kind of footer to start with this. So just go ahead and grab the files that I give you for the admin panel design and open them up in Sublime and go to index.html. And let's actually grab the header. So we're gonna grab the header starting from container-fluid right here. So just copy the whole thing. Let's go right here and paste this in. So now we need the part that will simply allow us to fetch the dynamic body, which is this part right here. So the yield basically signifies that we have a dynamic content right here. So if we copy this and if we go right here and paste this in, now all what we need to do to finish this up is simply the footer. So let me go down at the bottom, copy this whole part, and if we simply paste this in and save, so now our admin, our template master for the admins is simply finished. All right, so now if we go to login.blade, let's now try and extend this. So I'm just going to go extends, and this will be layouts.admin right here. All right, so now I'm going to fetch the dynamic part. I'm just going to go section, and I will go for the content right there. All right, and right after this, I'm going to go and section like that. So save this whole thing like this. And now let's go ahead to admins, and let's go to login-admins right here. And if we go down at the bottom, let's now grab the dynamic part that will simply allow us to, view the form. So if we go right after the div with the class container-float, because everything above it is simply a header, and now it's included in the template master right here. We need to grab right from after it. So I'm just gonna grab the whole class right here, and I'm gonna go to login, and I'm gonna paste it in the dynamic part right here in this section. So if we save this, all right, so now let's try to go ahead and view this form. So if I simply go to web.php, and if I copy this part, if I simply paste this in, so now I should actually view my login, which is right over here. All right, so awesome. But as you can see, there is a problem, which is this section right here. These links are supposed to be on the side in a black div right here, and the form itself is messed up. And that's because if we actually open up the inspect element right like that, we go to the console, you will see that there is a style.css file that's simply missing. It gives us a status of 404 not found, and that's of course because we look at the master template right at the top where we're importing our files. You're gonna see that we have style/style.css file right here, and we did not even make this dynamic just yet. So I'm just gonna go asset, and I'm gonna go to assets, and I'm gonna include the style.css file right here. So just cut this and paste it like that and save. So now we need to include this file. So of course, go ahead once again to your styles folder and open up the style.css, copy this, and go let's see, and go to the public folder and go to assets and just create this folder, which is styles right here. All right, and now create the style.css file. So I'm just gonna go style .css like that. So now paste this code, save. So yeah, if we simply refresh this now, all right, so as you can see, there is actually the links are here on the side. Of course, this should not show up right here, if we have a login form, but we're gonna actually validate this in the next couple of videos. All right, we need to take care of the logic of the login right now. But the good thing that we implemented, or we grabbed or we imported our style.css file, and there is no errors right here. So now we can continue with the logic. So let's go ahead, close this off, and also close this off right here. So now what we have left is simply creating the logic. So let me go and copy this and make this so it will be a post, and we can leave both of those the same simply. And if we go right here, this will be check login like that. All right, so for the name for this will be check.login. So let's save this. Let's now copy this and let's try to process the logic. So I'm just gonna go right there, paste this in, and I'm gonna copy this function, paste it like that. Let's cut this and paste. All right, so since this is going to submit a form, I'm just gonna go request, and I'm gonna go request like that. And yeah, the logic is simple. It's going to be really simple. Actually, it's not that hard. Just open up your resources section for this video, and you will find this code right away. So just copy it like that and go ahead and paste it. I'm gonna explain it a bit. Actually, you do not need this line. All right, so what we're doing right here, all right, so this part for the remember me does not matter that much. that does not matter that much, so just ignore it. The most important part is simply right here, if auth guard admin attempt blah blah blah. So what I'm doing right here is, if we're trying to authenticate as an admin right here through this form, try to attempt the email right here, as in the request data that's coming from the input with the email name right here, and try to also attempt the password right here. All right, so the password that's, which of course the data that's coming from the input with the name password right here. All right, so if this is worked, simply we're gonna redirect, and we're gonna go to this route, and this route simply represents the index page for the admins. So if we got an email and a password right, we're gonna go to the admin panel right away. All right, just like that. And yeah, this is simply just for returning an error if this did not work right here. So yeah, this is everything about the logic. It's not that hard, so just save this. I want to go ahead now, and I want to create this route, of course, because after we're logged in, you should go to this route. If we did not create it, we will get an error. So I'm just gonna go right here. I'm gonna go paste this in, copy this, and I'm gonna go right here and paste this. Let me cut this right here, and let me go and paste it right here in the name, and I'm gonna name this so it will be index. All right, and this will be admin/index, like that. All right, so now I want to save this, and I want to copy this function name and go right here and paste. So what this is going to do is just simply go to an index right there. All right, so this will be return view admins, and this will be admins.index, like that, which is just a very simple page. If we copy this, and if we go let's see, if we go to the admins folder, let's create this file. All right, so as you can see, index.blade.php. If we actually go to index.html right here, which is in the root folder, we should see this row right here that we can simply copy and paste right away. All right, so this is simply the page that will allow us to view a couple of stats about our admin panel. All right, so I'm just gonna go right here, and I'm gonna pick up the part where we're simply displaying or importing the admin. All right, so yeah, this is actually everything. So yeah, what I want to do next is take care of the form inside the login. So if we go down here, you can see the form method is post, and the action is simply route, and we should set up the name right there. So this will be check.login. All right, so right after this, we need to do our CSRF like that, and the inputs right here, the type is email and the name is email, that's fine, and the input type is password and the name is password, that's also fine. So yeah, the button right here, type is submit and the name is submit, great. So now let's go ahead and save this whole thing. All right, so what else do we have? So I guess that the part for the form now is fine. All what we need to do next is actually go ahead and insert something inside our admin's table so we can use it to actually log in, since we will not create and register page. So I'm just gonna go ahead, click insert like that, and the name right here, it will be admin dot first, something like this. All right, you can choose any name that you like. Let's paste this in. For the email, this will be gmail.com. all right, so, and for the password right here, we should not insert a raw password like this, because if you look at the part for the logic, we should actually grab yeah, of course the user will insert in his input a raw password that contains characters, numbers, and all of that. But we need to go ahead and we need to hash the data that's coming from the input. We can actually close this, and we need to grab the raw data and hash it, and simply fetch it with a hash that's already right there in the password column inside our own database. So we need a hash right here. We do not need some kind of characters and numbers like that. All right, so I want to open up my users table, and I actually have a couple of hashes. if you remember from the beginning of this course. And I already know the hash, I already know the real password for this hash right here, which is actually the same as the email because I made both of them the same at the beginning of the course. All right, so now I want to copy this hash and I want to paste it right there, and I want to go ahead and click go. All right, so now there is our record. So now let's refresh this. Let's try to go ahead and log in. So I'm just going to copy the admin. I'm going to copy the email, and I'm going to go ahead and copy this email right here, which is again represents the password because the email and the password are the same. And I'm going to paste this like that and click login. Let's see what's going to go down. All right, so as you can see, we're actually going to admin/index right there, which means, you know, we're actually going to this route right here, and this route right here represents yeah, it's right over here, which represents this link. So yeah, everything is working perfectly, the logic is fine, and in the next video we should go ahead and actually display the admin name, do validations here and there and so on. So yeah, this will be all, and I will see you on the next video.